Dave Mason Jr. back in action this weekend. Okay, we got to talk about what else has been going on in your program. You've been quite busy in off-road, but on the desert side. So tell me more about this.
Yeah, most definitely. We bought a trophy truck at the end of last year, and Yokohama really kind of pushed us in that direction in the desert because they're developing an awesome 40-inch off-road racing tire, and they want to prove that it can stand up to the abuse of a trophy truck with two-wheel drive, 1,100 horsepower, and take the abuse of racing in Baja. So we've been spending a lot of time doing that. We missed the first couple races out here because I was racing the Nora 1000, which we won overall, which was awesome. And then we won the Baja 500 2 weeks ago during the Anago weekend. And then now we jumped in our trucks. We had everything prepared before the Baja 500. And then as soon as that race was done, we loaded up and we headed out here. And now we're ready to do some short course at Crandon.
I'm really excited about this one in particular. A home race for you again. You've raced there many times over the years, Glen Helen. Have you thought that far ahead into the schedule on what that's going to be like to be able to entertain your local fans, friends, and sponsors at Glen Helen?
Yeah, most definitely. We are so excited to go racing at Glen Helen. Racing in California in front of our home crowd is exciting. There's a ton of fans that are just waiting for short course off-road to come back. And then it's cool for us because we have a big construction company that we're very blessed to run, and we'll get to show all of our employees, do a big hospitality event, bring them to the race, that they don't get to see this stuff in the Midwest since it's so far. We're excited to get them out there and bring a bunch of fans, new fans to the sport. And it's really a cool deal. I'll have my family members there, friends, and just being back in California is a huge blessing.
And on the track itself, you've actually tested there really recently, last season in fact. So for those fans who might not be familiar or who might just need a refresher, how would you describe the short course track at Glen Helen?
Yeah, like you said, I have a ton of laps there. In the old short course series, we raced there quite a bit. I raced trophy carts, limited buggies, pro buggy there, and I've raced Pro 2 there as well with another off-road series. So we do have a ton of seat time, and it's a very different track from the Midwest. The Midwest is wide open, high-flying jumps. This one's a little bit tighter and more technical. They usually have a very gnarly rhythm section in there. So you're going through these whoops and bumps, and the trucks typically take them pretty well, but some of the more limited classes, they kind of struggle, like the UTVs, and it comes down to setup as well as aggression. Rolling the dice on how hard you want to push. So it's really a tricky track, whereas this track is kind of open and flowing here at Crandon. But Glen Helen, it will really shake things up because it's different from the Midwest tracks.
Wow, you guys heard it here. We can't wait for that one, but we get this guy for 6 rounds this year. Crandon's and Glen Helen, right?
Yep, absolutely. Can't wait.
Well, we're looking forward to it. This is Dave Mason Jr.